Merch Minds Podcast episode 109. My name is Glen, Hustler Hacks, and Yong is here. And Yong, before we start, did you watch the Dolphins with their last play miracle and beating the Patriots?
Dude, you know what? I was gonna text you, but normally, like I said, like I told people last week, you normally ignore my messages.
This
You,
guy.
you only call me when you need something. So I don't even bother. But yes, I did watch the final, uh, the miracle play, um, kind of reminiscent to the whole Berkeley, Stanford classic years ago. Not as dramatic, obviously, but no,
Yeah.
that was a great ending. If you guys missed it, I highly recommend you at least watch the highlights.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna go nuts.
You've watched football for the last, 70, 80, 90 years. You've seen everything except probably something like this. Like you said, really dramatic. So,
First of all, I should slap you. 70, 80 years. Who do you think I am, huh?
all right, fine. But yeah, throwing it out there, Dolphins, I was excited, pumped. Um, but I didn't check to see if there was any
Now, wait,
Dolphins related merch on merch. If anyone tried to
I don't.
evade trademark.
I don't think they would. I mean, as crazy of a play that was, I think people. Well, I think most people are aware that professional sports aren't allowed, even though some do sneak in there. But let me ask you, man. Now, did you actually watch the game, or did you just catch the highlights? Did you
No, I
actually
watched the game and I was like, "There's
watch
7 seconds left.
You were
Let's
watching
see
it
what
live?
happens." Yeah, I was watching it live.
So what was your reaction? Are you like me? Like do you get like emotionally involved in the game? Because like when I watch the Niners game, I have friends they refuse to watch the game with me because I just get nuts.
Well, see, I used to. I used to get to the point where I was kind of like, it would like ruin my day. It kind of messed up even like, the rest of the Sunday and then Monday going into work. And then it just kind of like, I was just like thinking about it a lot. But
Oh man, you used
there,
to be like me then, yeah.
yeah, there was like that. Or I just wouldn't talk for a while. I was just like, what's the deal? And then a couple of things came into play. Like, number one, it's kind of dumb because it's professional sports. Like, why would it ruin your day if you have so many other things going on? Maybe at the time I was just working and I didn't really know anything else that was going on that was exciting. So that was like the most exciting thing for me. So I took it, to heart. And then I was like, it's dumb because I have no control over anything that's going on. This is just football. Like it's really dumb. And then number two, I was just like, I don't know. Overall, I got used to like Dolphins losing. So like another year of losing, I was like, this isn't anything new to me. Now
Hmm.
the thing that bothers me the most are people like Ken Hustleby that just climbs on bandwagons and he
Oh,
rides it out when they're
yeah.
winning. Now that stuff bothers me because I'm
Oh,
like, hey,
that's scumbag.
I,
He just jumping on the bandwagon, huh?
oh, I hate that stuff.
So,
He's like,
so
oh yeah, I'm a Warriors fan, and he's like, I'm a Patriots fan, and I'm like, this is just garbage.
maybe
That's what it
we'll get
is.
you on the show. Okay, we'll fucking call him out. Get
Okay,
him on,
we'll call him out.
we'll get him on the show. Nah, man, I get really like I said, I have friends. They just absolutely refuse to watch the game with me because I get so emotionally involved with, especially when the Niners play. Um, and yeah, it gets pretty bad. I start throwing things, and if you guys think I curse a lot now, I mean it's a whole different scenario when I'm watching the Niners play. So,
Oh,
but wait, I know I brought it up to you in the past, but did I ever tell you my story about how and this is a true story, how I almost became a scouting agent for the Dolphins? I know I've mentioned it, but I never told you that story, right?
you mentioned it in the podcast, but you did tell me personally,
Okay,
and I remember we got some comments on YouTube where it was like, like people that couldn't believe it, or they were like, I don't know, they were kind of questioning the authenticity of this. But you did tell me the full story.
okay, okay. I wasn't sure if I told you on that, but I did almost become a scouting agent for the Dolphins. That's it. It's just a crazy story by itself. So um,
We should just have one episode where you just talk about that.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it. But
Okay.
there was a message on the dashboard in
Yes,
merch.
sir.
What did that message say, Glenn?
All right. So we'll do message, we'll do numbers, and we have other news and stuff. This is kind of like a also going to talk goals. So a little random episode, but definitely going to be good info in here for kind of preparing merch for 2019.
Absolutely.
All right, so let me see. Message number one. This was on 4 days ago. Previously, we allowed publishing youth fits for UK t-shirts, but they were not available for sale. Kids sizes are now buyable for all UK t-shirts published with a youth fit. Please note, youth clothing is exempt from what? VAT in the UK. Since pricing is the same for all fits and royalties are based on the purchase price of a product before taxes, royalty amounts will be different for UK adult and kid sizes.
Yeah, man. I don't mess with the whole VAT stuff, man. You guys know me, from the podcast. I don't mess with all that. But it sounds like the youth sizes are available in the UK. Whatever, it doesn't really concern me. That's something that uh, I do on the UK side. But you know what? Before we forget, let's just get into our numbers because I know we'll forget.
Okay, go ahead.
And I can start off first. Last 7 days, 225 shirts sold, 5 returns, product purchases, $4,849.26. Estimated royalty, 925.59.
Very nice. Now, why did you look to the side?
Because I always do.
No. Oh, okay. All right, my numbers. Products sold 366, 17 returns. Yeah. Oh, there's something back there. All right. Revenue 6,200, but estimated royalties $1,115.06. So we're on the rise, baby.
What was that again?
$1,115.06.
Damn, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, so we're on the rise. We're trying to, but it's Q4 time, so that's why we know it's inflated. But
So
I'll take it.
Hold on a second. So you said 1,000. What?
100 and just sold a shirt. 100. Okay, $1,124.25.
Okay.
But 17 returns.
Okay. So I'm not too far. I'm not too far behind from you then.
No, you're not.
All right.
But it feels like eternity when you're trying to scale up.
Let's pause here for a second. Was that distracting?
No.
Because I actually have a friend staying with me for a couple of days.
No, it's cool.
Okay.
People can see it live and they know that you're a human, and
okay.
Apparently you have friends now, so I guess that also you can prove that.
Like I said, at least he was courteous enough to let me know in advance, not like you. Okay. So I wasn't sure if that was distracting or not. So
okay, no, we're good.
So we're talking numbers. Okay. So I'll just do another countdown and we'll start over. 3.
No, we don't have to.
Oh,
Just
are you sure?
Going. Yeah, we'll keep going.
Okay, we're gonna edit this part out then, though.
No,
right?
no. We don't have to edit anything out. We just keep going. That's what we do in Merch Minds Podcast. We keep going. We're fine. Everyone loves it.
You're a freaking nut job because in the past you want to edit everything out, and all of a sudden now you want everything in the podcast.
Everything is in the podcast.
All
right, keep going.
But anyways, yeah, no, I do have a friend. He's visiting for a couple of days. But
okay. The numbers. So going back to the numbers.
Go back to the numbers. So it seems like I'm not too far behind.
Yeah.
Numbers have gone up, which now goes back to again the theory that I had on whether Amazon is throttling or not. I don't know. I mean, obviously, a couple of weeks ago, I had a theory that I thought Amazon was throttling everyone across the board. It seems like sales have spiked for everyone. And if that's the case, that's good that Amazon has finally worked out whatever kinks that they had in the past. But yeah, and our numbers are nothing compared to some of these other numbers that I've seen.
No, yeah, yeah.
Okay, I've talked to some people on the side, and oh my gosh, dude, they're making us look like kids.
Yeah.
I mean, they're putting up some stupid numbers. So, um, but yeah, so it looks like sales are back up. There was an incident last week with the pop sockets. Now, what's going on with that?
So I think what really happened first is that
There was an
so
article, right?
yeah, so there's an article on Recode. I can probably put it in the notes. But so the title is an Amazon revolt could be brewing as the tech giant exerts more control over brands. And in this article, they talk about pop sockets and kind of the relationship between the CEO and Amazon
The CEO of
and
pop sockets.
Pop Sockets. Yes, his name is David Barnett, and he says it often does not feel like human beings over there for Amazon.
Does that sound or feel familiar, Glenn?
And it says who was so Bart said Barnett, who was careful to lay blame on the structure in which employees on the Amazon retail team are forced to operate and not on the employees themselves. It's like a robot.
Sounds very familiar. So okay. So basically, you don't have to read the whole article, obviously, but basically, what the article talked about is how Amazon is really strong arming products, and they want a lot of control over how things are being sold on their platform. And Pop Sockets and the CEO, they're complaining that they're kind of giving the cold shoulder, which we can kind of somewhat relate to, right? Because like as much as we love Amazon, okay, and I'm always the first one on the pedestal, man. I love Amazon. I love the platform, but there's pros and cons. But one of the cons is I hate the way they communicate with us, right? That's
Yeah.
something. Um, that's something that they could definitely work on. Um, and so, based on this article, there was all kinds of speculations. And then what happened last week?
Then we
Pop talk,
had yeah.
pop talkers were gone for a whole day. People,
Yeah.
and then you talk about conspiracy theory. People just went nuts.
Yeah. So they're like, no more pop sockets, don't upload anymore, quit working on them. I don't know what's gonna happen, pure mayhem. And then they kind of came back.
They came back later that late afternoon, but people went nuts. And I talked to a few people. See, me fortunately, I was very lucky because even if pop sockets were to go away permanently, I don't primarily design for pop sockets.
Hmm, hmm.
Like I would say 90-95% of my product sales are probably apparel. So
Yeah.
so even if they were to take away pop sockets like today, I think my sales would overall would still be okay.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of people out there, they're primarily designing for pop sockets. They're
Right.
the ones that probably took a big hit on whatever day that was last week, and they're the ones that probably panicked,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, definitely.
And we don't know how accurate this article is, right? Like, there's that adage, don't believe everything you read on the internet. But then again, that article does sound pretty legit. I don't remember what site it was on.
It's
They
on Recode. And there's a lot of good like little quotes here and there.
uh
Like this, like he also said, I don't think it's a sustainable model. Maybe for controlling the small players whose business depends on Amazon, but to endure this kind of treatment,
mm,
there's a lot of great brands out there who can make that choice to leave.
right. So yeah, so there was that whole pop socket fiasco, and again, like I've never heard of that site Recode. I'm sure they're legit, but
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
I would say just don't believe the hype yet, right? Really do your research. Again, don't believe everything you read on the internet.
but the thing is that I do agree with him in a different aspect though when it comes to, I guess, like brand recognition. Remember Pop Sockets, they were really, really controlling over their their brand, their name, and their look alike when it comes to pop sockets. They don't want any of those counterfeit, pop sockets out there. Of course, they're not officially licensed. I mean, they look the same, and they do everything they can, to stop these people from selling them. And then in Amazon's part, it's like there's a lot of fakes and stuff that are still on there, but does Amazon really care or not? It seems like, hey, we want to make money. You're selling on Amazon. We're going to make money regardless whether, PopSocket cares to keep their name and their recognition and everything.
I
So,
think Amazon does care because we've heard about sellers getting kicked off of Amazon because they're selling bootleg products. It's just a matter of when they get caught, right?
yeah, when they get caught, and how many items have they already sold by then? That's why I think like Birkenstock is one that they also mentioned in here. And Birkenstock's been kind of fighting this thing with Amazon when it comes to legit products
What's going
because
on with Birkenstock?
well, there's a lot of fakes that also come through Amazon that are supposed to be from them, and Nike kind of had an agreement with them too with Amazon, but I really don't know how all that has been working or not. But there's so many fakes that are still on Amazon. Like I can go right now and just looking at like the photo, especially when it comes to like Nike jerseys, sportswear, really high end stuff like that, I can already tell that it's a fake. It's a fake product, but
Hmm.
I don't know if Amazon really does care or not. Because if they did,
I think they
then
do.
they would really go through this stuff. I mean, it's an obvious. It looks cheap, doesn't even look like the real deal, and these things are still on there.
Hmm.
So I think that's what also these big brands don't like. It's like there's so many of these other counterfeiters and other people are selling similar products, but it's like, where's your royalty? Or I guess like, where's the I guess like friendship and loyalty that comes with the bigger companies? That's what I think PopSocket is trying to figure out.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
So
no, that's a
yeah.
good point. But I think overall, just my personal opinion, I think Amazon does care, but it's it's become so overwhelming with so many fakes and just bootleg products. It's as soon as Amazon catches on, I feel like the bootlegs, they find another way to somehow get their products on Amazon, right? So it's
Yeah.
always it's always a cycle, right? You get caught, and then then you find another way to get onto Amazon.
Yeah.
And this is coming from the FBA world, right? I mean, you and I used to both do FBA a little more. Uh, we were more invested in doing FBA in the past, but and we used to get notifications from Amazon all the time.
Mhm.
You can no longer sell Star Wars toys because of too many bootlegs. You can no longer sell this because of too many bootlegs, and so on and so on. So it's definitely a problem that Amazon needs to work on. But I think it is something that they are working on.
Yeah, we'll see what the update is. We don't really know the future of pop sockets, what's going to happen. I mean, as long
Yeah,
as they're available right now, keep doing
yeah.
your thing,
The
work
good
on
thing
them,
is,
upload them.
as of now, that they are back on the platform. Let me see. The Average Joe Show. So we just had our third episode last week. Some really good feedback from viewers. So if you guys haven't checked it out, go back and check out the last three episodes. It's me, RJ, Matt Carlin, and Matt Sheeran. Um, and just really um, inviting on guests and just critiquing a couple of their shirts.
Yeah.
It's pretty much it, right? Giving them really good feedback and stuff. Before we continue, let's give a shout out to Neil Lassen, Mr. Merch Informer. Was it yesterday or today? Is
I,
his birthday?
I think it's today, I
Is it
think.
today? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, uh, Neil, happy birthday, man. What is he, like 20, 24? Just a young kid.
Just a young buck.
Just a young buck. Let's see. I've gotten a few messages asking if the kid that I've hired, if he's still taking on clients, especially with all that stuff that's happened a couple of weeks ago. And yes, he's taking on clients. Just again, I think I really need to make this clear. Communication is really important. But if you're interested, just contact me. Let's see. Every year I go on a December holiday tour. It's something that I talked about in the past, and basically what it is my job. We shut down for about 2.5 weeks. I've clearly stated that my parents, for whatever reason, they just don't want to do the whole holiday thing anymore. Um, so in the past, I would go visit them, um, but I felt like it was just a waste of my vacation time to just spend time with them for 2.5 weeks and not do anything, right? I mean, it was. I love them, but it was just. I feel like it was just 2.5 weeks of my personal time of not doing anything. So normally, what I do is I just travel, go different places. In the past, I would announce where I'm going to go. This year, I don't know where I'm going to be at, but I'll let you guys know if you guys want to do like a meetup. It'll be a last minute thing. Again, I have no idea which direction I'm headed. Really, just depends on the weather. Like
Mhm,
I hate driving. This year, like okay, so in the past I've traveled with my dog and I've traveled without my dog.
mhm.
This year I'm going to travel with my dog. Um, so I'll be driving. So it really depends on the weather conditions, right?
Yeah.
Um, Last year I didn't travel with my dog, so I was able to fly everywhere. So this year I'm driving. So what else? Before we continue with the show, man, I was complaining to you right before we went on live, man. I had a meeting at work this morning. Oh gosh, man, and it's just one of those meetings where it really really makes you want to just quit, man. It just God, man, and this is why I complain and I bitch about how merch isn't working out at some point, but I have to swallow my pride and take my own advice and just really try and grow outside of merch, and not just quitting merch though, right? I mean, trying to scale merch at the same time, but just go out there and do other things because man, that meeting this morning at work just it just went south.
Oh man.
I mean, it wasn't bad. Like for me, again, me and my boss, we have a great relationship and whatnot. But I don't want to get into details and stuff. But oh man, it was just one of those. I mean, definitely one of those meetings that you shouldn't be having on a Monday.
Yeah, that's yeah. I don't even know why you're in the office. You need
Uh,
way more days off. You need Friday and Monday off. Work 3 days max.
hey, I agree with that.
Yeah, there's no need for that other stuff.
So cool, man. So let's get into the main topic of the show, which is 2019 projections and goals.
Oh man, this guy.
Hey, first of all, how do I sound? I know I was sick for a couple of weeks. Do I
It
sound
still sounds a little lingery.
okay? Okay, but
Not as bad as last time, but
oh my gosh,
a little
sounded like
lingery.
sounded like Anthony.
Oh, before we start, actually, one more thing. Before we start, I know this article has been posted on some of the bigger groups, but I wanted to see what your response was and your take on the whole Under Armour cease and desist thing for it's like a couple. They created their own brand, and Under Armour sent them a cease and desist. And so this brand is Cascade Armory, I think is what they called it,
Okay,
and apparently that is too close to brand confusion from Under Armour.
I think Under Armour are a bunch of douchebags. If you seriously consider going after them, they're a bunch of douchebags.
So I mean that's pretty crazy because I mean the thing is that so their logo is really kind of text based. There is at least the ones that they show the example, but they also say that
This is Under Armour or
no Under Armour is like a U and an A.
right?
You know, I can't even but this one is kind of text based, and there it says, let me see. So this Cascade Armory's logo is an elk with the words Bend, Oregon printed on the side and peaks to streets written below. And they don't look anything like Under Armour whatsoever.
It's stupid. It's just big corporations just going after the little guys, and it's unfortunately we see this too much in the industry, right? I think early into the podcast, this is like about a year and a half ago. I gave you guys an example of what happened with my friend out in Florida, right? Um,
Hmm.
I haven't talked to them in years, so I don't know if they still own their sports card shop. But at least back then, out in Florida, a friend of mine, her and her family used to own a sports card shop, and they've been in business for years, decades, right?
Hmm.
Um, long before Upper Deck even existed,
Yeah.
and their shop was called Upper Deck. And so after the Upper Deck Corporation came into business, they went after my friend's shop, saying you can't have that name because that belongs to us now. And long story short, they went to court. My friends, were able to win that case because they were able to
Nice.
prove that they were in business long before Upper Deck, the corporation, came into business, and they were able to keep that name. But it's just, again, it's just, it's the corporations. They're going after the little guys, and if you done nothing wrong, and if you believe what you're doing is legit, I would say, man, just fight to the end. And
And
I
I mean, that's the thing, though, is that it's good that your friend won, but I can only imagine the process and the time and everything that it took to go through that.
Exactly. I mean, it was probably a scary process, right? Like, I remember when she told me about it, it was just a brief conversation, right? Like, she didn't really go into details. Like, she didn't tell me everything that entailed in that battle as far as going to court. But I'm sure it's probably a scary process, right?
Yeah, I mean, and he's saying here, it's going to cost 10,000 just to get to the first
And,
court process.
and that's what sucks, right? And that's what
Yeah.
sucks. Under Armour, shame on you, man. Shame on you.
So you're probably asking, what does this have to do with merch? Well, it has to do with print on demand because if you're starting your own brand, and keep this in mind, a lot of people are. I mean, they're kind of starting their own clothing, their own brands outside of, let's say print on demand, but people that are getting, their own printers, their own press, things like that. And then you come into this situation to where you have a big company that made over what 5 billion last year come knocking at your door. It's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know. It has anything that doesn't even look anything like
Yeah,
Under
no,
Armour. So that's
shame on Under Armour for even attempting to do something like that. I, personally, I don't think they have a case. I hope
yeah,
they lose. I mean, look, the f- Under Armour is worth so much money. I mean, why go after the little guy that looks nothing like what you guys are doing?
yeah,
You guys are just bullying the little guys, and that's stupid.
yeah. All right. So sorry to go back, but at least it was. I mean, it's something just a kind of a random topic, but yeah. Let's go to our main topic, which you mentioned,
Uh,
2019.
Projection and goals.
Yes, and maybe expectations.
All right,
um.
we can talk about that.
So, what do you want to talk about first, as far as the numbers go, or what your how much you want to make, or how much you think you're going to make, or maybe just what you plan to do in general, as far as like plans
Well, I
to.
think, look, I think it's fair to say in both our cases, and probably a majority of the listeners that listen to the podcast, um, and there's millions of you guys out there that listen to our podcast.
Millions.
Millions. Dude, I check the stats every night, man. It's
Oh, okay.
millions. Millions of downloads. We're the number one rated show on iTunes. Um, and um, and I think it's fair to say that everyone's goals are to scale, right?
Hmm.
But the question really is how are we going to scale? And so one thing that I want to do more in 2019, um, obviously, like I mentioned, I want to scale, but I want to outsource a little more. Um, I've taken on the whole reign. I've grasped it by its horn, man, and I'm taking on the reins as far as doing more research and doing less design.
Hmm.
As far as merch is concerned, I do a lot. You guys know I do some freelance work on the side and whatnot. That's still ongoing. That's still ongoing. I'm still doing stuff for that. But I'm just, look, after doing over 2,000 designs on merch by myself, and I talked about this in the past, right? I'm just burnt out, frustrated, whatever you want to say. I just don't want to design no more, and I've taken up, and I'm outsourcing a little more, right? We've talked about it on the podcast week in and week out, and I'm doing more of that, right?
Hmm.
I'm leveraging the local kid. I got this other guy that I've been testing out, and he's been delivering. Um, I got the gal who's been designing for me, locally. She's doing more of like um, uh, and she's very talented, and I don't want to take anything away from her, but she's doing more like the mediocre designs.
A little
Uh,
simpler.
yeah,
Okay.
you know, the boy is doing more of the high end stuff because that's what he's talented in, right?
Yeah.
He's an illustrator by trade. So he's doing some of the high end stuff. She's doing more of the mediocre stuff, and so really just trying to outsource more.
Okay. Outsource more 2019. And what about numbers wise? So, how much do you want to make? And at the same time, how much are you projecting you're going to be paying out to outsource? So in the end, you have what your net profit is going to be.
I would like, okay, and again, if you guys been listening to the podcast since the beginning, you guys know that uh, it's been my ultimate goal to do 10K a month on merch
Mhm.
consistently, right? Okay, not just 10K, just 1 month, and then I'm gonna quit my job, right? It's 10K a month consistently, and I've already mentioned that's not the case. It's damn nearly impossible these days. Too many people, too many competition. But there are ways you can make it happen if you just work hard enough. So my goal now is to do consistently 5K a month on merch,
Mhm.
and then scale other pods like obviously Etsy and um, maybe open up my own Shopify store. That's something that I'm kind of debating on because we do know that I did mess with that in the past and nothing's ever come out of that. But maybe it's time to revisit opening up a Shopify store.
All right, so let's say 5,000, right?
Hmm.
How much are you more than likely paying, let's say in general, for both the designers per month? Are you going to give them more of a workload then? I mean, because you're saying you're trying to outsource more and you want to get those numbers up,
Well,
let's say to
well, so
5,000.
here's the thing. Here's the thing. So I try to be a little more fair with these kids, right? Again, and I'm not picking on anyone. Like I don't expect 20 designs every 24 hours, right?
Mhm.
When I contact them, I usually put in my request. Um, and it really just depends on their schedule. It can take anywhere between 24 hours to a week. It just to me, I told them that your education is more important than what I'm doing,
Yeah.
right? And we talked about that, and I want them uh, to focus on their school first before they do my work. So based on that, I've been paying them $35 per project, but maybe it's time to renegotiate and just give them like a monthly salary.
Mhm.
And I don't know what that number is. Um, and then based on that, they just deliver an X amount of designs per month.
So let me ask you this. I mean, at 5,000 is your goal, but right now, would you say average you're making about how much? Like 2,000?
Nah, man, it's been like freaking 1,500 a month.
Okay, okay. Sorry, I was
Right?
trying to bump your numbers a little bit.
Yeah, no, dude. Earlier this year, remember, I was consistently doing 3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Okay, and then whatever happened last Q4, and then whatever happened earlier this year, it broke everything, and my numbers went. They cut everything in half, right? Um, so I don't think we're gonna see those kind of numbers again like we did earlier this year.
Mhm.
I think there's. I'm almost positive. Uh, uh, we're just gonna have to work harder and just put out better quality designs. I'm telling you guys right now, that's the key. So what I'm really focusing on is just again, I'm taking on the reins as far as doing research and outsourcing good quality designs. Again, I'm not picking on anyone in particular, but that whole, you know, $3 a design, I want 20 within 24 hours. That's impossible. Okay, and if your designer is delivering stuff like that within 24 hours, I can almost guarantee you that they're using pre-made graphics.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
nothing, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? But it's
Hmm.
just know what you're getting, right? If
Yeah.
your demand is that high, know what you're getting. Like I said, I give this kids, I say, hey, you guys deliver when you guys can deliver.
So this is, I mean, man, I'm not gonna lie. 5,000 is pretty ballsy.
Hey, I'm a ballsy guy.
From where you're at right now, which is less than 2,000. You're talking about more than doubling what you're doing right now. Um, that's gonna be that's I'll give it to you, but I don't know how realistic that is, unless you're gonna hire like double
Well,
designers.
well, I'll tell you what, it's more realistic than 10K a month.
Oh, it's definitely more realistic
Okay,
than that.
then shut your pie hole.
No, I'm just saying realistic as far as like having the same two designers that are gonna pay you. I mean, they're gonna send you designs whenever they're done with school. Like you're gonna have to double these designers to get to that point.
Not necessarily. I don't think. Look, I've proven that you can make good money with so many shirts.
Young, this is merch of the past.
But I'm just saying, dude. Look, you keep putting out quality stuff, right? And you focus on doing really good research. I think you can still do it. Yeah, there's a lot more competition, but have you seen freaking 90% of the stuff out there?
Yes, I have
Okay,
seen.
right. All you do is look, look. I'm convinced you find a niche, right? It's not niche. I found out from Josh Brown. It's niche,
Okay.
right? You find a particular niche that's just full of garbage designs. Okay, you put your own design in there that has good quality keywords, good quality design, and just take over that niche.
We haven't even talked about.
What are you doing with your hair, man?
I thought you were talking, but we didn't even talk about what you're doing with ads. I mean, does this include ads
I'm running
into
ads.
your costs?
I'm not running ads on everything. So as far as my ads are concerned, I'm running ads on designs that I think that have potential, like really good designs.
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's been working out okay. I mean, I'm not doing Anthony where I'm running ads to freaking 4 or 5 thousand shirts all at once. I'm just
Yeah.
kind of testing the market, see what's working, see what's not, and yeah, it's all about just really testing the market, right?
Yeah. Test the market, see what's gonna happen, but a lot of work, no matter what. I
Right.
mean, it's not gonna be easy out there.
What are your goals, man?
So at first I wanted to go back and
What's your
just
goal, man? What you want to be on, like on People magazine? Or you want to be on like a Money magazine again?
if I'm gonna be on anything, I'm gonna have to shave, get a haircut. I'm just looking rough right now for Q4, looking rugged. I can just grow patches. I can't even grow like a real beard. Um, Here's the thing. Let me go back. I want to go to just some of the things that I've noticed on my account as far as like the money that's coming in, and then I can kind of go from my projections from
Okay.
there. So one thing I can tell you is that my returns have gone up almost every month.
Hmm.
So the thing that I've noticed is that my very first month, which was May 2018, that they announced, hey, we're gonna have returns. We're gonna take it out, the adjustment into your your earnings. It was like $80. So I was like, okay. Since then, 87. It went down a little bit, 79, 75. Now the last 2 months, 107 and 120. And that's a pretty big difference when you start looking at, you know, if you want to scale that up and get some of the more, returns that are coming in. But I think it's good to also include that and expect that that's going to happen, because that really helped making an extra $125 or whatever. Before that, now that comes into play. With this, and with me not really uploading, it's gonna overall hurt the numbers besides the whole throttling thing. So for me, next year, I definitely got to get back onto a game plan, which that'll be my number one. And this game plan is gonna be weekly, well, daily tasks, and then for the whole week I have it laid out and how many designs I need to get out. Similar to what I did in the very beginning, which was really sitting there and cranking out the whole, idea, research into design, into finalizing PNGs, and then into a day of just uploading. It does help, of course, that I'm allowed to upload 1,000 a day, which I know it's not going to get to that point, but I guess it's good to know compared to the beginning days of merch where you're limited. Once you hit a certain amount, I'd have to wait and upload different days. So number one, I need to get back on a schedule. But for me, not uploading in a while and really doing very simple designs, I'm not mad at the results. I do think that, like, of course, the more time and effort you're going to put into something, that's what you're going to get, which I've seen that on my other businesses since I've been focusing more on the whole sneaker side, probably more than merch this whole year. But with the numbers lately, it's been roughly between 1,800 and my lowest one was 1,800 this month or this year. And then my highest one was 3,500, which is in January. But the rest seem to be between 21, 22, another one for 2,300, another one a little bit over 2,000. So goal, I would say first is to consistently get like 3,000 consistent for like 3 months. Because then I know, okay, this is working. I can continue building this up. And then I can hopefully get to like the 4,000 to 5,000. And I think 4,000 to 5,000 would be awesome. Like I would definitely take that. And go with that combination with, YouTube and the eBay side. I think I definitely want to get the numbers back to I'm going to start off with 3 and try to make that as the first goal, and then I'll step up a little bit and try to get to 4 to 5. So
Let me ask you, what, today is the 10th of December?
yes, sir.
Yeah, today's the 10th. Let me ask you. So you've experienced Q4 back in the early days, right? See, I came on after Q4, the very first Q4, and you made just a little under 10,000 that Q4.
Yes, sir.
You think you'll make a 10,000 this Q4?
No.
Okay.
But the interesting part is, I will probably make more this December 2018 than I did December 2017, even though I didn't upload anything new for the last month or so. So I think it has to do a lot with the freeze last year and what happened. And I think more people are definitely going to make more money this year and this December than last year. But I think overall that's good. I mean, Amazon is working, to clear that up so we don't have so many freezes and other things that are going on. But last year hurt bad in Q4 because I put a lot of time and energy into merch.
I think a lot of people were.
Because December 2016, that was the almost $10,000 month. I put in a lot of time and effort into it, and I didn't, focus on FBA and eBay. So then last year I did the same, and I was like, man, I'm really gonna get this going. I'm going to do better than 10,000. And then the freeze and all that happened, and I had,
about a month.
Yeah. Well, when was that? Might have been around that time.
That was earlier this year, right?
Yeah, earlier this year. So during that time, Q4 2017, we had 4 straight months when I made, like $2,500, which that December I was really hoping for huge numbers. I put everything else aside with eBay, FBA, focused on merch, ended up biting me in the ass. So this year I focused more on eBay and doing all that, which I've been doing good. But now merch side, I definitely got to, fix that and work for next year and building that schedule. So now,
well, look,
I'll have time.
I'm glad that you're saying this. I'll tell you why. Okay. I've gotten some emails, some messages in the past from random people, Hey man, it seems like Glenn's not really interested in doing merch anymore. Just based on what they were, seeing on the show, and um, no,
People say a lot of things, Young.
hey, I'm just telling. Hey, look, man, why are you getting all upset with me? I'm just telling you what people are telling me.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm glad that you're saying this. It sounds like you're gonna get back into the game somewhat because man, people were. There's been rumors.
Rumors.
There's been rumors about you saying, "Oh man, I don't think he's really interested in doing merch anymore." But clearly you are. But no, it's just man, like this whole thing with merch has just been, it's been good and it's been bad, right? There's just pros and cons, just like everything else. What about projections? What are you predicting?
And merch as a whole, or just for my account?
I think no, well, both, right? Like
Okay.
like obviously, I think we're gonna get new products um, in 2019. I don't know what that's gonna be. I would really, really hope that they give us tank tops. Um, for some reason, I don't think it's gonna be tank tops. I think it's gonna be cell phone cases. Um,
Yeah.
but I really, really, really want tank tops. We'll see though. Who knows? Um, and I think in 2019, I think there's going to be more changes, right? Guys, and this shouldn't surprise anyone, right? That's how Amazon works. There's always changes. They're always going to update their TOS, and then people are going to get pissed, and there's going to be all kinds of havoc in the forums and in the Facebook groups because of the changes, and then but you know what? That's just how it is.
Okay, you're saying changes. Let me ask you this: do you expect a royalty change?
I hope not. I mean, I can't see it going any lower, man. But then again, I mean, what do I know, right? I mean, um, but I guess it can go lower. I hope not, though.
Yeah, I mean, I eventually it's gonna happen, right? I mean, it has
Think
to.
so? I
Yeah, I don't know when. I mean, I
nah,
hope not 2019, but it has to happen. I
nah,
mean,
nah, screw all that. Look, this is what you do. Okay, this is what you do. Okay, instead of lowering royalties, you have to charge monthly fees.
okay,
Because look, I'm telling you right now, that will separate the good players from the bad players. Right? People doing
yeah,
stupid stuff. At some point, they're just gonna get frustrated because they're gonna be, oh, nothing's working, and they're just gonna quit. The
yeah,
good players, they're gonna get rewarded. They're gonna continue paying that $40 a month or whatever the hell Amazon decides to charge. Right? I'm just saying 40 because that's what Solo Central charges us.
yeah,
Um, um, I think that'll be a good fix.
yeah.
Again, just my own opinion. I don't, I know I'll probably get some hate messages. Oh, you're telling Amazon to whatever. That's just my own personal opinion.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So I do think they're gonna make changes. I think it's gonna be for. I'm gonna stay positive and say it's for. They're gonna be for the better. But just goes back to putting in the amount of work into it. And for me, I am. We've talked about this before. I'm gonna have more time now. Not being, with the family business, I'm gonna use that time into the merch side. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for 2019, but I also know that there's just so many, like, trying to figure that out. It's gonna be different for me and the wife since we're both gonna have more time to figure things out for merch and on the eBay side. So
Well, you said your wife is going to be somewhat more involved in the business, but it sounds like she's going to be more involved in the eBay side.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
We're on the eBay side and helping with, photos and shipping and listing and things like that. So that's gonna help me overall and save time. But I also know that the YouTube channel has been I've just kind of maintained it. It hasn't really grown. I haven't done anything new. And when I do, the numbers definitely show. That, like, hey, this is a new type of video or something else that, like, okay, cool, now I'm getting the views. It's gonna be tough. I mean,
Because
2019.
okay, look, let's just put it out there. You do get paid from YouTube, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I know you're not supposed to disclose how much you get paid exactly, but would you say that it's about 10, 20% of what you currently make per month on average?
Um, I guess so. I mean, it's the least out of all of them.
So what is
I
it?
can say that.
About what, 10, 15%?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, 10 to 15.
Okay. So that's pretty significant though, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that sounds like because look, we know your wife doesn't work, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so it's primarily you. You're the breadwinner. So 15%. I mean, that's pretty significant, right? So
Yeah.
so are you gonna try new things as far as trying to grow your channel?
Yeah, I mean, I have some ideas, but at the same time, it's like,
Like
I
what?
mean, I'm not gonna say any ideas right now. Here's the thing, though. When I have other ideas, I know people are like, I have some people that have bit some of my ideas, and they've tried to make it their own after they've seen some of mine.
Well, tell
So,
me so I can grow my damn channel.
okay, I'll tell you. But man, it's just like these ideas, but to actually do them is something totally different. I mean, you have to really put in the time and effort on everything.
Look, I think the best. Look, I'm obviously no YouTube guru, um, but it seems like the best way to really grow your channel is to um, interact with your viewers. Wouldn't you say so?
Mm,
Right? Because people want interaction, right?
I mean, they do, but I know some big channels that they don't even do live videos. They don't even interact. They do you know, I guess because their demographic is different. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think having like this reselling demographic, even merch, even eBay, Amazon selling, I think there's only like a limit there as far as like people that are interested in that. More people kind of come in and out every month. People that try it, they give up. That we've seen this with merch. They try
No,
it, they
look,
give up.
I
And
think I think
so,
I think you should interact with your viewers more, collab more, reach out to other YouTubers, right? And do like fun collabs for your channel. That would help, right?
possibly.
Right? Stop. Look. Basically, what I'm saying is stop messing around with this hustle bee guy, right? He's destroying your channel.
Leave them behind.
He's destroying your channel. Do more stuff with other people. Okay, collab with other people. Um, um, interact more. I think that'll really grow your channel.
Yeah. I gotta grow the channel, gotta grow merch. On the eBay side and all that, it's been pretty consistent. I mean, I can grow that up a little bit more and have some different things I want to do, but for the most part, I think YouTube and merch need the most help, which makes sense because those are the ones that are getting the less time and effort that I've been putting in. More of it has been on the other side. So,
Well, let me ask you, man. I know I asked you this in the past. Any any chance of you getting on Etsy and growing your Etsy store as far as print on demand?
no,
Why is that?
because it's just going to be another store. I mean, I feel like I could make good money on. At one point, I was making really good, not really good YouTube money, but good YouTube money. And for something that I have fun doing, going out and recording and things like that,
Right.
that's going to be on there forever. I'd rather do that than sit and make designs for Etsy to keep track of customer service
Well, here's the thing.
and
I mean, you can cross post your listing. I mean, that's what I'm not like putting up any fresh designs for Etsy. I'm just pretty much cross posting. But I think that's something that you should really consider, and I'll tell you why. Etsy is not hard. Like the Etsy Printful integration, it's not hard. The hard part is really just providing customer service. That's
yeah,
the hard part, just providing customer service and putting out fire. "Oh, I didn't get my shirt. Oh, when's it gonna be delivered?" Stuff like that, right?
yeah,
And dude, and you have Gigi, man. She can provide customer service. I mean, it's just ask. I mean, it takes maybe no more, I swear, than 30 minutes a day.
hmm.
And that's another additional 5, 6, maybe even $1,000 in your checking account. Seriously,
Yeah.
right?
Etsy's cool and all, but Nah,
I'm
not
I'm
gonna
just
happen.
I'm just saying, since since the Merch Minds podcast is all about print on demand, I think that's something that you should really, really consider. I am gonna try and mess around with doing more journals in 2019. Again, ever since the whole merger from CreateSpace to KDP, I just really lost interest. But um, I'm gonna really try and leverage my friend's sons to have them do most of that work, and then I just go in there and do the final uploading.
Okay, very nice.
But yeah,
Getting
man,
those journals up.
dude, I think you should really, really consider Etsy, man.
We should do a contest. Um, who would make more money, me doing YouTube or you doing Etsy? I can guarantee you.
I can guarantee you, I'll probably make more.
Okay, I like this. 2019.
By the end
We
of
should we should figure something out.
uh, okay, by the end of 2019, if I make more, you owe me $50,000.
50,000.
Huh?
That's 50 grand.
Yeah.
Why that amount?
Okay, 60,000. Okay, the loser pays $60,000.
Yeah, that would be a dumb bet for me.
Okay. Um.
We
Well,
have to figure something out.
we'll
We'll take comments on YouTube, or you can let us know
no, that's fine.
what you
Fine.
think.
Look, we'll do something, but it just look, dude, it just makes perfect sense, especially since Gigi's. I keep saying Gigi, since Gigi's going to be more involved in the business. Just have her do the customer support. Dude, it's no more than, I swear, it's no more than 30 minutes a day.
But then we gotta like cross post and
Have her do it, man. You said she wants to be more involved in the business. It's not hard.
yeah, but there's this whole other eBay site that's already doing well. Why bring on another one to make a little bit here when this one's already doing well and could grow further
Cheddar,
as well as the other ones?
huh?
Minimal cheddar. Minimal.
You can grow your Etsy store. You could be on freaking Time magazine again. Who knows?
Oh, also, that's why YouTube brings in other things. So see, I wouldn't have been in a magazine if I didn't have a channel.
Is that how they found you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, how were those other people found?
I don't know. That's a good
No,
question.
no one found me.
That's a good question.
Whatever.
Anything else you want to throw in before we go?
No, I think that's pretty much it, man. Good show. Good catching up with you. I feel much better, but yeah, my voice, I can definitely tell it's still raspy. Um, but cool, man. Next week we'll do a year recap, and then let me know if you want to finish up the year with more podcasts, or if you want to take a couple of weeks off.
All right, sounds good. We'll keep everybody posted what we decide to do. But yeah, today's the 10th, so we got another week, and then the week after that would be like the Christmas, New Year stuff. So that's what we'll try to figure out. Maybe take a little break. Maybe, I don't know yet.
Okay.
Also, you're gonna be on the road.
You know what? I might even be in El Paso because I think Stanford's going to be in the Sun Bowl. Is that the Sun Bowl in El Paso?
It is a Sun Bowl.
Okay, but I'm not going to call you. I'm not going to call you, dude.
Okay. Oh yeah, Stanford is playing Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So
Yeah, so
that's hilarious.
maybe I'll end up in El Paso, but I'm not going to call you though.
Okay, no, it makes total sense.
I'm just letting you know.
All right, appreciate that. All right, we'll see you guys next week.